Killer Karen Read's public mask has slipped, even for many of her most ardent supporters.
That body wasn't hit by my car. That body wasn't hit by my car. That body wasn't hit by my car.
When people show you who you are, you need to eliminate them from your lives.
Things, untrue and embarrassing things about me that were never meant to see the light of day.
That were never meant to see the light of day. But isn't it you that continually says sunlight is the best disinfectant?
And sunlight is the best disinfectant. That's been our mantra for 3 years.
Oh, look at there. It is. It's your mantra. So sunlight is the best disinfectant. But what? Wait, what? Not when it pertains to your overflowing rooms of secrets?
Because of the people in this room that embrace me despite hearing horrible things, untrue and embarrassing things about me that were never meant to see the light of day, and you don't care.
Yeah, the fact that FKR doesn't care about who you are as a human being is pretty much the entire problem. What Karen did to John, it was a rage murder. It was a domestic violence breakup rage murder. And you all have blinders on because she's a petite, arguably attractive, professionally successful woman. But think about this. If Karen's name were Ken, how quickly would you have convicted him? When people show you who they are, you should eliminate the nasty ones. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
One of the worst losses, other than the physical losses of this nightmare, has been the loss of my reputation. And I feel like I have it back in spades because of the people in this room that embrace me despite hearing horrible things, untrue and embarrassing things about me that were never meant to see the light of day, and you don't care.
Your reputation is the worst thing you've lost. Huh. So, not John then.
It's when she says she's fought for John O'Keefe, she's fought for her own freedom and getting back her name.
And the loss of my reputation.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. I'm with your niece and nephew. You pervert. You're a pervert. You are using me right now. You're another girl sleeping next to me. You're a loser. Yourself.
You can hear just how angry Karen Read was, but as they were played, Karen Read was just paying close attention and not really showing any emotion.
Karen Read's defense team claims she's being framed.
When people show you who you are, you need to eliminate them from your lives.
It's like, fuck you, you piece of shit. You know, like, you're not going to defeat me. Like, you're not going, fuck you. This is war. Like, that's the kind of vibe that she gave off to the O'Keefe family. Like, fuck you. She hates the O'Keefes more than anyone. Let me tell you, from somebody who's had a lot of conversations with Karen Read, she fucking hates the O'Keefes.
When people show you who you are, you need to eliminate them from your lives.
Let's talk about Kaylee as it relates to the infliction of emotional distress. Kaylee was young, 14 years old. The defendant had a relationship with her, knew she was emotionally fragile, knew she was orphaned at the age of 6, knew that she lost both parents tragically. The defendant assumed the pseudo-parental role with Kaylee for nearly up to 2 years. The defendant, Ms. Read, knows that she knocked JJ down. It's in the middle of the night. She wakes up Kaylee abruptly. She talks about JJ being dead, being struck by a plow, being struck by a vehicle. Mind you, this is all hours before anybody has even discovered his body, and she is now actively talking about him being dead.
When people show you who you are, you need to eliminate them from your lives.
Then, after creating this chaotic, upsetting situation in this young, fragile girl's psyche, she leaves her. She leaves her home alone, shocked and frightened. Compound that by defendant's choice to speak her false narrative publicly, to use social media, to leak public information through Turtle Boy, to control that narrative. Why is Turtle Boy out there saying the O'Keefe's family period of grief has expired and they are now fair game? She has always known their vulnerability, and yet she creates a calculated and malicious campaign of disinformation designed to hide the truth in this case. Who leaked the autopsy photos that got published by Turtle Boy for this vulnerable family to have to be exposed to that they weren't seen before? To the extent that the defendant argues that this is not extreme and outrageous, remember the law. It is the jury's role to decide whether the defendant's conduct was rude and clumsy or extreme and outrageous.
A little offensive during the criminal trial. I think we're a little offensive during the criminal trial. I think we're a little offensive during the criminal trial.
How does that work?
I need a fullback.
Hang on. Y'all didn't even let her get a blocking.
When people show you who you are, you need to eliminate them from your lives.
Yeah, they proved that that body wasn't hit by my car. That body wasn't hit by my car. That body wasn't hit by my car.
She hates the O'Keefes more than anyone. Let me tell you, from somebody who's had a lot of conversations with Karen Reed, he fucking hates the O'Keefes.
You don't get a free pass. When you engage in conduct that's so inherently dangerous, and you know it's dangerous, and it costs someone their life, that's second-degree murder.
When she came back for the last word, in the darkness, the beginning of the snow, under the influence of alcohol, and decided to stop her Lexus, decided to put it in reverse, decided to accelerate 75% in the exact same direction of where she left him, and then hit him, and he died. I suggest to you that is second-degree murder.
Killer Karen was drunk. She hit him. And she left him to die, alone and freezing, mere feet away from a warm house and his loving friends. Nobody plays the victim better than the person who caused the damage. They are master manipulators, master gaslighters, and masters at Darvo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please look it up. The acronym stands for Defend, Attack, Reverse Victim and Offender, which is what they have been doing from the beginning. Every single thing that they say about other people is exactly what they are doing. They have been telegraphing it the entire time. The entire time. Nothing that they have done hasn't been planned, right, Alan Jackson? You sick fuck.
Everything that Karen has done, everything we've done as a defense team has been highly curated for a reason. There's a reason why we've made every single move we've made. Highly curated for a reason.
Looking to find him on the side of the road. I was expecting I'd find him. And I said, he asked, why was I saying, could I hit him? Did I hit him? And I said, yeah, my first thought was, I've been out late, I've been drinking, and he's in the general vicinity of where I last saw him. I mean, like, he's roughly where I left him. So yeah, when I found him, I was thinking, did I like clip him some? I'll tell you, John and I argued the morning of the 28th, Friday morning. Did I hit him? I know I said I hit him, but
I didn't think I hit him, but could I have clipped him? Could I have tagged him in the knee and incapacitated him? He didn't look mortally wounded as far as I could see.
And this would have been the moment you dropped him off at the party. You're thinking.
Yeah.
I think people want justice. They don't want this influence of, social media and public perception based off of lies to win or to take control over this. And we'll take all the support we can get. Every time we go to court, we're kind of portrayed as the bad guys. And at the end of the day, it's, we lost a loved one. In all this, I just want people to remember the actual victim. It's not the Karen Read show.
Yeah.
This is about a good man whose life was taken way too soon and for selfish reasons, and has created a void in our life that was already an enormous void, but just made it even that much bigger. I just want people to remember him and want him to get the justice he deserves and that we deserve. And that's Karen Read going to prison.
It's impossible for me to have any sympathy for any of these witnesses. Definitionally, is it harassing witnesses? Yes, they're witnesses against me in my prosecution. And is he yelling things at them? And is he going up to their front doors and ringing the bell? Yes.
We are trying to affect the jury pool. We are. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm. To conflict all these potential jurors. You like that, Adam Lowry? You like that, Michael Morrissey? We are getting to your potential jury pool. You told us to stop because we're too effective. But we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going.
You are a disgrace. I'll say whatever I want. Disgusting. Disgusting, Paul. Disgusting. Disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with Peggy O'Keefe? Oh, she's fucking old. You're being mean to the mother. Well, fuck her too, okay? Fuck her too. Wanted to be very clear with that. Yeah, Paul, talk about your mama. I don't like that. I said that 2 years ago, and there's all Pearl Coach. Oh my God. Vinnie Paul did. Oh my God, you can't say that about the victim's mother. I just fucking did.
If you commit crimes in our communities, if you commit violence against our citizens, we, under the watchful eye of the district attorney's office, we will find you. We will prosecute you. And no matter your fame or your wealth or your supposed celebrity, you will stand trial and you will be accountable for your actions. No matter your fame or your wealth or your supposed celebrity, and you will be accountable for your actions.
Talks about JJ being dead, being struck by a plow, being struck by a vehicle. Mind you, this is all hours. Hours before anybody has even discovered his body, and she is now actively talking about him being dead.
She hates the O'Keefes more than anyone. Let me tell you, from somebody who's had a lot of conversations with Karen Read, she fucking hates the O'Keefe.
When she says she's fought for John O'Keefe, she's fought for her own freedom and getting back her name.
What could be more egregious?
John O'Keefe's niece testified first today. The juvenile recalled Read and O'Keefe fighting in the weeks leading up to the Boston police officer's death in 2022. She says things got worse after a trip to Aruba. They seemed less happy to be around each other, she says. O'Keefe's niece says she overheard her uncle tell Read the relationship had run its course, adding, he asked her to leave the house. She did not want to leave. Meanwhile, the juvenile testified about Read's frantic behavior the morning O'Keefe was found dead, adding that Read made statements like, quote, maybe I hit him.
I felt like I didn't even have strength in my body to still stand.
Rizitano watched on the computer in her kitchen. Her initial sobs, though, quickly turned to anger. Cheers erupting from the crowd outside, seeping into the courtroom and through her laptop speakers.
That made me sick to my stomach. While it's other people's celebration, it literally was like the worst day of our lives.
Even more enraged by Karen's comments moments later.
No one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have.
Hearing those words come out of her mouth literally was sickening. No. The prosecution, his family, his loved ones, including myself, we're the ones that fought the hardest for Johnny, not you.
Now she's deleted her social media and stays off the internet in the wake of the trial, claiming her family's at the receiving end of unbearable harassment online.
They think that the loss of my cousin and a grieving family, they find that entertaining, and I think that's so sick. He would be ashamed knowing how our family's getting treated.
Still carrying the memory of her cousin every day, she and her family have noticed John's spirits present now more than ever.
Yeah, it's just signs that he is with us.
Tell me their number one priority right now is to make sure John O'Keefe's life and legacy lives on.
I think we're a little offensive during the criminal trial. I think we're a little offensive during the criminal trial. I think we're a little offensive during the criminal trial.
How does that work?
I need a fullback.
Hang on. Y'all didn't even let her get a blocking. How did Karen Reed end up sitting here? Why is she even here? Why is she in that chair? Why is she in this courtroom? There is a reason for that. John was hit by a car.
How do you go 24 miles in reverse, 75% throttle on accident? Like, how is that not purposeful that she tried to kill him? How do you go 24 miles in reverse, 75% throttle on accident?
You will learn that it was no accident that John O'Keefe was found dead on the front lawn of 34th Fairview Road.
Is there any chance this was an accident?
There's zero chance this was an accident.
You agree that John O'Keefe's injuries, or lack thereof, are inconsistent with having been struck by a vehicle at 24 miles per hour?
I would say it's likely and unlikely at the same time, depending on the position of the body and the vehicle in question.
Could you just explain a little bit how that would happen?
Well, as he fell backwards and he struck his head, it was clearly at a very high speed.
And your opinion about injury on Mr. O'Keefe, and at one point you said that his injury was inconsistent with a taillight, and you said because there was no damage from the bumper. Do you remember saying that?
I don't think I said it quite that way.
Okay. Do you remember how you said it?
No.
Do you remember discussing or raising the issue of a bumper as part of your equation, that the injury to Mr. O'Keefe was inconsistent with the injuries?
He has no injuries on him that are consistent with being hit by the back of the SUV. That includes the spoiler, that includes the bumper.
Okay, if we could play video E, please. I want to ask you, Dr. Laposada, have you seen this video before?
No.
Thank you. You can take that down. Did you see anything in that video that would suggest any contact between that mannequin and the vehicle's bumper?
Objection.
I'm going to see you at sidebar on this for just a minute, please.
suggest any contact between that mannequin and the vehicle's bumper.
I'm going to see you at sidebar on this for just a minute, please.
So his torso was spared from being hit, but the arm took the brunt, the full force of the vehicle, correct?
Like arm and shoulder, yes.
Okay. And you said he then did a spin, like a sort of a pirouette?
He got spun around possibly the way he struck, it looked like he could have turned around counterclockwise.
Okay. So if he turns around counterclockwise, is he turning around in the air counterclockwise?
Yes, initially.
So he gets hit on the upper biceps, shoulder area, and down to the forearm, right?
Yes.
By an unbroken taillight, right?
Yes.
In other words, it's nice and smooth. Nothing, no shards of plastic or anything broken at the time that it made contact with his arm, right?
Correct.
Okay. So how did his arm get all cut up?
Because when his arm struck the taillight then cracked, and as the car is driving past him, the taillight could scratch it.
Got it. So he gets hit by the car, not his torso, just the arm. The taillight cracks, and as it passes by, his arm stays with it long enough to get striations, those scratches that you see, those lacerations, those abrasions that you see, right?
In a sense, yes.
And at the same time, he does a pirouette and flies to his final point rest.
Killer Karen was drunk. She hit him, and she left him to die. Dear Killer Karen Reed and Alan Jackson, we know you have and continue to harass and terrorize John's family, friends, and community to obfuscate justice for his murder. You want sunshine? You're gonna get sunshine.
No finding of a conspiracy by Benson and Barrios, was there?
No, there was not.
There was no finding of a conspiracy by Benson and Barrios, was there?
No, there was not.
There was no finding of a conspiracy by Benson and Barrios, was there?
No, there was not.
Fuck Karen Reed, you piece of fucking shit.